All right, today is June 8th, 2026. It is 5:14 a.m. So I've been editing whatever I left. I think the last time I recorded was on Friday. I didn't record anything yesterday. I was editing and I went hiking. So I did record some stuff and took some pictures. I probably will share these with my members. So stay tuned for that. So now I'm just gonna go on X just to see what's going on, and I think some people have tagged me on some of those tweets, so that's what I will share with you. And it's gonna be very short, just to see what's going on, be up to date to a certain extent, and then I have a lot of other things to do. All right, so these are some stuff Squaddies sent me. I covered these already, so this is the first one on my list. All right. Okay, so it's making reference to Peter Phillips' wedding. Okay. Harriet marries into a family with strong Epstein connections. In fact, the wedding was also attended by two princesses who had lunches and vacation paid for by the serial sex trafficker of minors. Also in attendance were other members of the royal family who helped cover everything up. Yeah. I don't know. They know all of that. That's what this squad is trying to say here. They know all of those implications, but yet she went into that. It would be good to find out why the other one left as well. Royal turns out for Peter Phillips and NHS nurse's wedding. I wish her luck. So there's that here on June 7. You are too much. I was making reference to the squaddy. Okay. So are you responsible for your siblings' action? Same thing here. Well, there's a I don't want to say too much, but you just don't know the full connection of things because these people like to cover things up. The company they keep, and they all of a sudden, the arrows are pointed at the Sussexes when they are not on the Sussexes level. Very royal indeed. All right, next tweet. The squad have a way of doing things. Sorry, but had to have my say. The grifters day out. Oh my lord. That's the wedding thing. LOL, brilliant. People are laughing. I think that's a beautiful photo of the wedding of the milkman and his wife. Definitely one for the Grifters album. Like Prince Harry stated, they are not a family. There's that, only are together at funerals, wedding, christening, formal dinners for foreign functions, all related to PR stunt and optics. Once over, they all crawl back into their own closet. Oh, Gilded and WanK. There's the laugh here. Authentic grifters, parasites, welfare recipients. I'm not mad at them. If idiot wants to throw millions at me every year for nothing in return, I'd be laughing all the way to the bank as well. I've said this before. Yes. Yeah. And this is why I keep on saying, I'm not mad at Princess Anna as well. Okay. At least she tried to do something to her own capabilities. They throw millions at them. Hey, they'll dance. Who did this? Why is all her horse teeth, jug ears, receding hairlines? Oh, wait, there's the laugh here. 5 people like it. Let's go to the next tweet. Oh my God, the squaddy sent me that. I was like, what? I cannot believe these two. Prince Dumb and Princess Dumber. Oh my God, it's like they were pulling each other out. They had to come and do it for them. Look at this. When a future king and queen get defeated by a piece of string. Oh my God. Oh my God. They didn't, at least one of them could let it go. Oh my God. Maybe they thought, yeah, I'm making excuses for them. Maybe that, I can't stop laughing. Maybe they thought, let me pause it so I could stop. Maybe they thought somewhere in the middle, the curtain is half and half. And one of them pull it and it, straight open. But they're pulling it and they didn't figure it out. One of them had to let it go. Only one of them could pull it. This is the guy showing them how he doing it. Oh my God. There's the squad. These two are the future king and queen. So many can't wait for. I. How many minutes? 13. This one is 2 minutes more. 2 seconds, I mean. Thanks for this gem. People stealing my stuff without any recognition. Okay, it's twiddling them and twiddling the. Oh, so that's the tweet, David. I mean, I don't know. Unless if you're not there personally to record it, so that person must have got it from somewhere as well. I don't know. Once the thing hit the internet and you make it public, this is why some squatters have limited their things, who they want to see their things. OMG, the jokes keeps fighting themselves. I can imagine doing this for a living. Counting this as work, my brain will atrophy. I can't imagine doing this for a living. Counting this as work, my brain will atrophy. This was from April 2014 while visiting the Air Force Museum of New Zealand and what is it? Christchurch. Let me see. I thought his hair, let's look at this one. I thought he had too much hair on this one. Okay. So, okay. Now I could see why. Okay. People are stealing my stuff without any recognition. But, okay. Prince Max tweeted it and someone else tweeted it. Oh, so, okay. So she's saying she tweeted that. But anyway, so this is an old thing. And when I was looking at his face, he like, he looks kind of young. And the hair as well. So I could see why she's saying that. But again, like I was saying originally, when those things are out and been retweeted over and over again, it's hard to figure out who was the originator person, where it originated from. So I don't know. OMG, the jokes keeps fighting themselves. I can imagine doing this for a living. Counting this as work, my brain will atrophy. Okay, this was from April 2014 while visiting the Air Force Museum of New Zealand and Christchurch. Bob the Builder to the rescue. The squad never forget. All right, next tweet. Oh my God, those animations are crazy. All right, no quote needed. Smile for the camera. You're the only one who is going to keep the royalist Karen's keeping the money trend trundling in. Ha ha ha. Doesn't Catherine dress so nice? It's kind of sad though. Okay, yeah, that's right. Catherine, do as your master tells you, like before. Oh my Lord. Is that a wax picture? Oh my Lord. Okay, I don't even know. This is going crazy. I don't even want to go over it. You could pause and read. Next tweet. It's really sad. Her dignity, self-respect. All right. So I guess this was during the wedding. Embarrassing. The song choice played by the band when Scooter walked in. Oh, garden party, I think it was. Oh my God. Let's pause this. Okay. What song was it? Can't be bothered to listen to. The song that exemplifies what's on his mind 24/7. I wonder how King Charles feels seeing another Prince William. Oh, I just can't wait to be king. Oh my God, article that has got to sting. The squad or something. I saw reference making to that. So they're all making sense to me. I'm telling you, if the squad don't tweet things, I would not know. So it's from that. So it's copyrighted, so I won't be able to share the audio due to copyright. Laughing my ass off. Not the band briefed on that man's pre-coronation plans. That can't be a coincidence at all. He wants his father gone so bad. This was just yesterday. Oh my God. Prince William to consider banning subletting royal properties when he becomes king. People are laughing. An hour ago, he won't stop. The Prince of Wales will be hands-on and restructuring a leaner machine, according to a source. He watched Lion King and learned the phrase Hakuna Matata. So the derangers think he's fluent in Swahili. That's quite all. They love to stir the pot even more. Oh, Lordy. One more before I'm done with this nonsense. Okay, so this is Martin. As always, Martin Gal is spot on. I think we are going to hear a lot more about the envoy files and who reaped the reward. Okay, so let's listen. 1 minute and 33 seconds. I have 3 more tweets, but they're about Meghan's kind of type of tweet. More positive.
Morning friends, happy Sunday, how the heck you doing? And yesterday it was the wedding of the minor royal Peter Phillips, the guy that sold photos of his first wedding to Hello for £500,000. The corruption and deceit runs deep in this family, as we've already discussed. Get to the point, Martin. Of course Kate and William had to attend, and the press have been briefing us for weeks about how William's going to change the monarchy and how the York sisters, Beatrice and Eugenie, will be out in the cold because of their father's grifting behaviour and their own grifting behaviour, selling high teas in the Middle East for thousands of pounds, taking a massive cut of those profits. But surprise, surprise.
Alright, I'm gonna rewind it slightly. Something came to mind. You see how Charles had treated Harry, not giving him enough money, where Harry had to learn to budget. In a way, for Harry's sake, because Harry's so freaking brilliant. Whatever money they were giving Harry to buy stuff, food, whatever he needed, and for the amount of work Harry have done when he was working royal, Harry was still shopping in discount stores. There's images of that. So maybe this is the thing that goes on in the royal family, where they give them just enough, okay? Maybe enough for a week or so, for them to be able to be doing this corruption. I don't know who makes the rules, if those people who work in the palace, who's in control of the royal family. Remember when Harry said they are trapped?
My father and my brother, they are trapped. They don't get to leave. And I have huge compassion for that.
So maybe this is what they do with these royals. Give them money just enough so they could do corruption. So in the future, when they need them, they'll document their corruption type of behavior so they could keep them in control. Am I making any sense? But unlike them, they are not as smart as Harry. Harry budget his money, shop wherever he could, to maintaining, his lifestyle or whatever, so he doesn't do corruption type of things. And then whenever he's done doing things in the UK, he fly to Africa. But these people, the leftovers, they want to maintain, they're living in an authentic way to make people see like a front, a facade. They're living for other people, another word. Whoever they're trying to impress. So they need money to maintain that. So in order to maintain that, they have to put a front, and it needs money. Okay, all those fancy cars, clothes, whatnot, doing all those fancy stuff, they need money for that. So this is why we see Harry walking with hole in his shoes. Okay, I'm assuming he's thinking the hole is under his foot. Was it in both feet? The hole was under his foot. People will not see it, but hey, with cameras, the moment you take the still image, it lasts forever. So they got a chance to analyze it. But if you're looking at it when he's wearing the hole in his shoes with your naked eyes, you will assume maybe there's a dark thing under his foot, it's dirt or something. You will not think it's a hole. But with the still image, after you take it, you analyze it, you realize there's a hole on his shoes. So this lifestyle that the royals portray, with the money that they gave Harry, for instance, he didn't buy into it, but instead he lived within his means with the money that they were giving him. But the others, they want to continue showing off to the people. They have this, they have that. So they need money to do that. And the palace was giving them just enough, a little bit, enough to survive, for them to eat and do whatever. And then they got all the other perks, the houses, the this, then that. But everything else, they have to have money to maintain it. So they have to do corruption type of tactic to have money to maintain that lifestyle. Am I making any sense? Meanwhile, as they're doing their corruption thing, the palace is keeping a tab on it. Don't tell them anything, because they know they're gonna need it in the future when they themselves are in trouble. So they just keep on documenting, take pictures, put it on a file, documenting, and then don't tell them anything. Make it seem like it's okay. So now when everybody's gonna be in trouble, okay, they're gonna throw them under the bus. All right, let me move it back slightly.
Their own grifting behaviour, selling high teas in the Middle East for thousands of pounds, taking a massive cut of those profits. But surprise, surprise, Beatrice and Eugenia were at the wedding and were greeted lovingly by both Kate and William with cheek kisses exchanged as though nothing is ever wrong. So either two things are happening. William's briefing the press against them and is the smiling assassin in front of their face, or the media coverage is designed to set the narrative of what this family want you to believe. Because this family want you to believe that misdemeanors in this family are punished. And of course, we know that's not true. We know it's constant deception and deflection. And you can be who you want in this family and get away with literally almost anything. My opinion's not important. Yours is. Comments are open.
All right, so that's that. There's no response to it. What are these now? Okay, so this is extra. All right, so this is the next tweet, and that will be the last one for RP Team Sussex, and I'm gonna continue recording, and it will be on PYTE. Okay, so this is the last one. This a challenge for all royalists at the end. Okay, not a single royalist will accept the challenge fact. Okay, so this is Martin again. Okay, only 2 responses, 2 minutes and 6 seconds. Come on.
Morning friends, happy Sunday, how the heck you doing? Have you seen this one? Because it's actually off the scale and amazing. And I would credit the creator of this infographic, but I don't even know who they are. Andrew's not even on this, and I would encourage you at any time to pause this video so you can read the royal rap sheets in full. And you'll notice that the media drip information that's negative over an extended period. So you don't really get that one-hit wonder, that full set of facts and data at any one time to make your decision. But when someone compiles data like this, you really do get a feeling for who this family are. Now, there's nothing on here about financial mismanagement, tax avoidance, refusing to publish tax returns, charging charities extortionate rent for use of buildings, car park spaces, etc. The stuff above is just the literal basics, just the awfulness of the main things these non-playing characters, I was going to say, have achieved in their life. And that's a good point, actually. Maybe we should, whoever did this, if you're watching, can you create one of these that lists the achievements of all the people? And can you put Andrew and Fergie back in the frame, please? And by achievements, I want you to list what these people have personally achieved that's measurable and verified over the last 20 years. Let's just keep it to the last 20 years. Tell us what they've achieved. Measurable, factual, objectives. Let's.
Before I lose that chain of thought, the thing is that those elite people, they are everywhere, and they have people in government to make sure they remain where they are. Okay, so when they realize the masses, the people, the peasants are gonna shift their ways or their wherever the narrative is gonna shift toward them to change the system, they react. They meaning the elites people, which they have people in government, and sadly some of the peasants are working and let's say how do you call this, police to guard the masses, okay? Groups, people who are peasants who are within that same constrained system, the group of people, they use them to help them keep that system under control. And the way they do it is through money, okay? They make money be that precious you cannot live without. To a certain extent, some of you might say, what are you talking about? Yes, you do need money to pretty much do anything that you need to do. But at the same time, if you take the natural things that God has given you, your ethical, respect, understanding, compassion, love, respect, I think I said that, and you treat everybody in that sense, if you have extra, you could give someone, you might be able to have people to treat you the same way as well, where money will not be the only objective. But the key thing here is that, what I'm trying to say here, is that they're watching the masses. Masses meaning the people, individuals, the groups that's not part of their social class, the lower class. So they're watching them. Once they realize the narrative, the wind is gonna shift, is gonna change, and it's gonna disturb the upper class way of life, then they react. They do things to put the lower class in a place of control, just like what Trump just did. And I've spoken about it when they first started with illegal immigrant or the MS. I think I started saying it when they started taking families out of the country, arrest them, cage them and stuff. And I was like, do you understand how far back many of these families are going to go to? They may never recover to be somewhat productive again. So all of this that's happening here, it's because of that. Too many people who were in the lower class were getting themselves out of that lower class. They were moving up, getting themselves out of poverty. Okay? So when they realize too many people are getting out of that poverty, it's going to disturb their standing position in the upper class. And you see, with the help of the US and the rest of the European countries, because if they could allow what happened in the Middle East, they are part of it. But who's in front is the US, and then come the UK. Okay, to allow group of families pretty much exterminated. You will never know their names again. And then people in the US, immigrants who were, making life better for themselves and families back home and all of that, he just put them way, way, way back. It's going to take, I don't know how many generations for them to get back on their feet. And we may never know if they'll ever get out of it, because we are still in that process of him putting more people back again, because he is still in power. And we need to see how the midterm election goes, if people gonna act to get him out of there along with all his minions. And then they're watching to see where things is going, if they could mess up the thing so they could remain in power. I hope I make sense with this. Okay? So these people, they just want to stay in that class, and they don't want anybody to move out of their social class. Let me move it back. I think I went off.
Achieve that's measurable and verified over the last 20 years. Let's just keep it to the last 20 years. Tell us what they've achieved. Measurable, factual, objectives. Let's have an infographic that does the opposite. I'll tell you what, there won't be a lot of information on it, but prove me wrong. Maybe one of the royalists in the comments wants to do it. There's a challenge. That's my little title for today. Royalists, do one of these with all verified and measurable achievements. Let's see what happens.
If Harry was that, Harry is in a different level, because many of the things, ideas that Harry was creating for the royal family, as you can see now, they're worth billions of dollars.
Travelers will be in New York for Climate Week, celebrating our 5th anniversary. Since we launched in 2019, we have brought together 11 of the world's biggest and often competing travel and technology brands to work together on bringing sustainable tourism to the mainstream. Today, we are a $3 trillion coalition to the mainstream. Today, we are a $3 trillion coalition guided by our independent advisory group of world-renowned sustainability.
Okay, all of these could have been for the royal family, but they rather do stupid things and lie to the people. They dare to bring how do you call this, people to come and visit, tourism, and all the lies they fed the people, when they could have done so many much more things. But they hate Harry for making a living. Okay, let me read these two and then that will be it. Keremo and Gauss get it right again. The Duke of Gloucester is highly educated and was gainfully employed and successful as an architect. Bonwell Manor was the Gloucester's family estate and the family since the 16th century, which wasn't part of the royal holdings. The Duke's older brother and heir, Prince William. Sometimes if everything was correct and documented, you go way back wherever it originated. Let's say there's an estate, right? You go back to the originator of that estate. Majority of the time, they must have done something to other groups in order for them to get it. Okay, so there's one comment here. Okay, died in a plane. Okay, she continued. Died in a plane crash in 1972. Prince Richard and his wife, Bridget, I think she meant Bridget. Wife Bridget were compelled to give up their private lives and become working members of the royal family and move into Kensington Palace. Whatever they all were paid to be working members of the royal family. See what happened with the UK royals? They do not want anybody to be above them. Okay, they sell some BS to anybody who's working in, who marry in, and then they want, and then they have control of them. So whatever they came with, I don't.
But also giving up your
nice,
career.
Yes, it's nice. Yes, but I don't see it as giving anything up. I just see it as a change.
It's a new challenge. It's a new
chapter, right? And also keep in mind, I've been working on my show for 7 years, so we are very, very fortunate to be able to have that sort of longevity on a series. And for me, once we hit the 100 episode marker, I thought, you know what, I have ticked this box, and I feel really proud of the work I've done there. And now it's time to, as you said, work as a team with you. Yeah.
But do you have that sense of responsibility, Prince Harry, for what you're asking Meghan to do?
Of course.
I don't know. Wasn't enough to maintain the family home that had been in their family since the 16th century. It was sold in 2024. Say whatever you want about the rest of the royal grifters, but please don't put the Gloucesters in that same boat as the Queen's first cousin. All right, continue. Richard stepped up to do the royal family a solid when he was asked by his cousin, the Queen. He was educated, successful, and he gave up his career. The Gloucesters aren't grifters like the rest of them. I don't know. I can't say much about that because I do not know. All right, so that is it. I'm going to do a video for PYTE, and I'm going to start with this tweet. Okay, so that's it. Thank you for watching.
Lavanaka. It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.